Hi, this is Essential Questions of Life with Stephen Keeley. It's a 15-minute interview program with three selected audience members. Today, on this show, we have three Boise State students that are going to give us their opinion on the three of the four most important questions. And we're going to start off with introduction here for our first guest. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. 24 years old. My name's Tyler. I'm a communication major at Boise State University, emphasis on interpersonal communications, and should be graduating either this spring or in December.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Sal Salinas. I am a communication major as well, a BSU student. I should graduate next December. So yeah.
My name is Joshua Swanner, and I'm the most interesting man in your life.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
What major do you have?
Oh boy, indeed.
So far going for criminal justice, although I have taken some comm classes in the past, and it's something that genuinely interests me, so I may end up deviating from that.
Great. Okay, for your answers, if you could just keep the answer fairly short, make a single sentence statement maybe, and then give us an illustration. The first question for all three of you is, what is time?
What is time? Time is nothing to me. I kind of just, do what feels right in the moment.
So you're in a 4-year degree program, right?
No, actually.
Oh.
I'm in just whenever it's done program.
I see. Next. So,
Time. I think time is really important. I think it's getting on time for classes, to work. A lot of people don't like what Tyler said. Some people don't really care about time, and I think it's just sometimes you waste a lot of time you shouldn't be wasting on little things, and you should prioritize time. If you're supposed to be somewhere at 9, be there at 9, not 9:05, 9:10.
Josh, what do you say?
I think that it's really what you make of it. I think that you should take advantage of time, but not rush through. I know a lot of people who are rushing to get married and finish their degree and going into studying things they really don't want to study and they have no interest in whatsoever, just because that's what's expected of them. They feel like they might be inadequate under the bar if they don't have those things lined up right away. I think you shouldn't be wasting your time at all. I don't think you should just be lounging around doing nothing, but I think you also should kind of maintain a balance between those two extremes, and that's more or less what I think about time.
So all three of you, do you have a view on how you control your access to time? I mean, you get a certain amount of time. It's like money, but it's money you'll never recover, right?
Yeah.
More or less.
Right, and there's people always say there's more time than life, and yeah, I agree. But like you said, I think we do have management on time. I think if, for example, if you're supposed to, let's say I'm gonna play a video game for an hour, make sure if you're gonna start at 3, you're gonna play for an hour. It's 4, then I'll do whatever rest. But if you're like, I'm gonna play a video game for an hour, and then it's 5 hours later, you had control of that time, but you just decided not to follow what your plan was.
I definitely think how I go with controlling time is if you make promises to people that you're going to be somewhere in time, like classes, jobs, promises, dates, stuff like that, you should make your time. But if you just have time with yourself, you should just use it however you like.
I'm bad at having appointments with people. I tell my friends I'll be somewhere. If they're lucky, I'll be there half an hour later. On a normal basis, I'm usually an hour or more late, and they just come to expect it. They're like, whatever. I mean, yeah.
Do you have a watch? Any one of you?
I actually do carry a watch during the week. My cell phone's like my biggest watch.
Right.
For my job, I keep a schedule, and like, so that's why time is really important to me. So if I have 3 appointments scheduled, it's not like, here, go to the first one. When you're done with that one, come to the next. No, it's like you have one at 10, one at 12, one at 3. Okay. So I need to make sure that I have enough time to attend that appointment. So that's why time is really important to me, and you can manage time.
Okay, for the next question, related to time is money. So the question is, what is money?
It's just I think it's a system that kind of keeps us trapped in our current society.
But you spend dollars or whatever.
Yeah, you have to spend dollars.
You're forced to spend dollars.
Yeah, spend dollars to make dollars, and then, you know, it's never any cycle.
What do you say, Sal?
I think money is a necessity more than anything else. Because, for example, for me, money is not important. If I have a dollar bill today, I am not thinking that, oh, I'm going to save 50 cents for tomorrow. I'm going to spend the dollar if I can, or whatnot, which I know I shouldn't think that way. But money is a necessity. I mean, you need money for everything. To go even out, you need gas. How do you get gas? You have to have money. You can't just say, well, here, I'm going to go to the gas station and pump for gas. So you do need money. Money is a necessity, I think.
Josh, what do you say?
For me, just kind of the idea of money, like, kind of blew my mind maybe a year or so ago. Just because if you think about it, it's really just an idea. Yeah, it's paper, yeah, it's coins, but it's an idea that's been universally accepted pretty much everywhere. And people die, people can starve to death, people can get killed over this idea that technically doesn't exist. Like, you know, I just think it's weird. I mean, yeah, you can touch it, but what you're touching is the representation of that idea of money, of currency, of trading one thing for another, which, I don't know, I'm getting really philosophical.
Well, you are, because the system we have now is representative of real money, that we traditionally in well, all civilizations that have had money rely typically on one of several forms of metals: gold, silver, bronze, and they would trade real goods for that gold or that silver, or portions of that coin. But nowadays we just have a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And what about the idea? What do each of you think, or what do you think as a group of what does money indicate to you? Is it a success indicator, or is it?
I personally think it's power.
Yeah.
Whoever has the money has the power.
Power to do what?
Anything you want.
Yeah.
Health.
So buying access to a doctor or medicine.
Correct. For example, you have Mike Johnson. He's been diagnosed with AIDS since I can remember, back in the 90s. So when we're going to school, you said if you have AIDS,
You're gonna die.
you're gonna die in 10 years max.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at him, I mean, he looks healthier than I do.
No, he's yeah.
How? You know, how is it possible? Because he's
It's money. It's kind of like if the world's gonna explode and they make a spaceship that they can get off of it, who's gonna be on that spaceship?
I mean, you
But
commit.
that is a nasty rumor, and they're stuck out in space.
I mean, and the same goes for a crime. If you commit a crime and you have money, you can buy a good. You can.
That's a good
You
point.
can buy
Yes.
good service from a lawyer, and instead of doing, prison time or whatever,
You can also
can
buy
do
other people's
service.
time that you wasted or got caught up in, and you need their services to do what you would normally do.
Right.
So you can buy time in effect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I've always disliked that claim that Benjamin Franklin made was time is money. It just drives me nuts, But in some form, it is. But it's other people's time
Yeah.
that you're buying. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Now, next question is, what is risk? What does risk mean to each of you?
Risk is a necessary evil, because if you don't have risk, then there's no option for reward. But you have to take that risk, and sometimes it can, end drastically.
So high risk, in other words, or
Yeah, well, you can take low risk or you can
Right.
take high risk.
right,
It just depends on how much you're willing to give.
right. What do you say, Sal?
I think life's a, like some movies say, I think life's a risk. Everything, every day, when you do something, you have to risk something. Either, if you don't attend that class, you're not going to get those attendance points. So you're risking there, maybe finishing with the higher score, but since you didn't attend those classes and you're like, oh, I'll just do really good on the exam. Let's say you don't do good on the exam, you just risked getting a better score than for not attending and taking that
And that
risk.
better score means getting into a master's program or a doctoral program.
Right.
So down the road, it's big.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think a lot of times risks are pretty awesome, actually. As long as they're not like totally stupid, where it's like you might benefit a little bit from the risk, but more likely than not, you're totally going to get hosed by it. I think that, yeah, risk honestly though makes life worth living. Really just going out there, not being stupid, but just seeing an opportunity
And accomplishing something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially we've reached 3 of the 4 important questions in life, especially for college students. That's time, money, and risk. The 4th one for another show is going to be called opportunity. What is opportunity? And all 3 of those play into opportunity. So thank you very much for being here today and answering the questions and giving us your views.
Thanks for inviting us.
So
Yeah,
this is
thank
our program for today, March 2nd. Look forward to seeing you next week, and thank you. Bye-bye.